tonight's game.
Where else would you rather be on a Friday night than snuggled out at home in front of your television watching some Sal's NBL Round 8 action live from downtown Whakatu, Nelson. The Giants are ready to take on the Saints. Kia ora, a very good evening to you. Hugh Bainton here alongside Nelson Giants and Tall Blacks legend Phil Jones. And Phil, two teams right in the middle of the congestion zone of the Sal's NBL ladder. This Wellington Saints side, an inauspicious start to the season, but the Cavalry have arrived and they've been ticking along quite nicely in recent weeks.
Yeah, kia ora, Hugh. Good to be back. Look, yeah, the Saints team has rolled into town and they are a completely different team from the start of the season. And you know, talking to Coach Guy Malloy before the game, he's happy to have his players, his full roster, obviously adding another player we'll talk about a little bit later on, but they present a very big problem for the Nelson Giants tonight.
Yes, a debut for the third and final import for the Wellington Saints tonight, Walker Miller, who we'll talk about a little bit closer to tip-off. For now, though, let's have a look at that ladder that I mentioned. The Auckland Tuatara sit atop it. When was the last time, Phil, you can remember in recent history where the team atop the ladder had 4 losses?
Oh, to be fair, I can't remember, actually. It's a very unusual ladder because generally we would see 2 teams sort of taking off and leaving other teams behind. But this year, it's just the season is so close. Everyone's beating everyone, and at the moment it's hard to pick that top 6.
The Giants 5-3, the Saints 3-5 after that slow start of theirs, and plenty of games in hand for those teams to catch up with the Nuggets and the Tuatara, who played last night. A win for the Nuggets, 3 straight losses for the team from the big city. All to play for. Anyone can beat anyone, and it is thrilling viewing so far in 2022. Here are the next 3 games that will complete round 8. Past the midway point of the season, the Canterbury Rams looking to bounce back from a stampeding loss to the Franklin Bulls last Saturday when they take on the Manawatu Jets, who've won 2 of their last 3. The Hawks, who are a real chance for top spot, take on the Airs Saturday 7:30. That one live on Prime as well. And the Southland Sharks at 5 o'clock on Sunday at home to the Manawatu Jets. And it's a big game for both those teams. Well, how about the scuttlebutt around this man since he's joined the lead? Xavier Cooks, fresh off a 24-point, 24-rebound performance, and he'll start in the 5 spot alongside his now former Sydney Kings teammate, Tom Vodanovic, recently re-signed with the Breakers. Mike Smith, Jordan Ngatai, and Darnay Samuel complete the starting 5 for the Saints. Here's their head coach, Guy Malloy.
Guy, welcome to Nelson. Obviously, starting the season was pretty rough for you guys, not having all your personnel here, but now you've got a full roster and looking pretty strong. The league's obviously tightened up a little bit, so things working in your favour. How do you see you run into the playoffs from here?
To be honest, I'm not really looking at the ladder. I think we got in that hole early, and we're working very hard to get our way out of it. So we're beginning to win some games. I can feel the chemistry of the group and our executions coming together. So I think we'll just keep the focus on where we're at the moment, not worry too much about future things.
And you brought a new big guy in by the name of Miller. Expecting much from him tonight?
Yeah, look, he's pretty jet lagged, to be honest, at the moment. So I think, you know, he's going to be a nice addition. He'll add good depth to our front line. He's a genuine 5. He's got nice touch and a little jump hook, a bit of rim protection, guy we can throw some lob passes to, that kind of thing. So I think he'll really help our depth, but it might just take a week or 2 to get acclimated.
All right, good luck for the game. Thank you. Cheers.
Guy Malloy enjoying his time with the Wellington Saints after a slow start. Here's the starting 5 for the Maipato Nelson Giants. Jerry Weston, Alex McNaught in the backcourt. Sam Thompson and his namesake Sam Dempster. Alongside that man Trey Morning, who the Giants will hope returns to the form of the start of the season. Been a bit quiet since he got crook and had a week on the sidelines. He'll be raring to go tonight, as will this man. He always is a proud Nelson man through and through. He's head coach of the Giants, Mike Fitcher.
Mike, Saints rolling into town tonight. Obviously, they bring a pretty powerful roster with them. You know, I imagine that Xavier Cooks has been front of mind for this team.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pick out one guy. Xavier's obviously having a hell of a season. Keeping him off the boards is going to be a key for us off the O boards. Same with Tom Vodanovic, but just such a big group they rolled out. It's kind of a unique challenge, so it should be a lot of fun.
And last weekend didn't go to plan, I guess, against the Bulls, but obviously you would have worked a bit on the team chemistry and getting the offense rolling. anything to expect tonight from the boys?
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. We flushed that one, reviewed, learned and flushed it on Monday, but no, the Bulls came in and did a job on us. So yeah, definitely some lessons out of that one, and we'll see if we've improved. The proof will be in the pudding tonight.
All right, good luck for the game, mate. Cheers.
The wrist coach Fitchett shaking hands with the referees, who we'll get to shortly. First of all, let's have a look at some of the stats from these two teams so far in the 2022 season. We'll talk about some of those key matchups. I think some of those stats at the top skewed a little bit by the Saints' start to the season before the Cavalry arrived, especially points against. But let's talk about these key matchups. West and Smith in the point guard position, and Trey Morning and Xavier Cooks at the other end of the court.
Yeah, well, I think they probably almost cancel each other out if you look at them on paper. Obviously, Xavier Cooks brings a real X factor both ends of the court, defensively and scoring, and just grabbing rebounds like the free things that you can pick out of the air at any stage. And you know, Trey Morning has been a little bit off lately, but you know, his ability to score offensively is pretty tough. So I think we're going to see a good matchup between those two pairings, and obviously West is a great defender, and Smith seems like he's pretty tough offensively, so it's going to be a good matchup between those two as well.
Referees for tonight's game, Matt Bathurst, Hayden Pipe and Corey Hogg, as these two teams talk it over ahead of this one. A minute to go until tip-off, and I've mentioned it a couple of times, Phil, but obviously we should qualify the start the Saints had to the season with you know, lots of players away on Australian NBL duty before coming in, but that is a very tasty roster that they have assembled, ready to hit the straps from the midpoint of the season onwards.
It definitely is, yeah. Obviously at the start of the season there were a number of teams that were out without their main players, or you know, some of their imports, because the imports were sort of coming in late. But you know, looking at this roster now and what's presented in front of the Nelson Giants, you know, it's a very tough team, and it's a team that's potentially, given the opportunity, will push for another title, I would imagine.
Teams shake hands. Tom Bodanovich and Sam Webster, another matchup look forward to seeing tonight. Had a chat with the one they call Tommy V before the game, and he was full of praise for his longtime rival Sam Debster, saying what a season he's had, how hard he is to play against.
Yeah, he's a tough competitor, Tommy V. Just looking at the Saints lineup, they've got a very big lineup out on the floor at the moment.
Cooks, Bodanovich, Samuel, Nartai, and then the odd one out, Mike Smith.
Are we ready to go? You guys
sitting under 6 foot.
Are we ready to go, Nelson? Here we go.
Excited for this one. Giants, Saints at the hangar. Another sellout in Nelson, and we're underway. No, we're not. Illegal jump, so it will be blue ball, Giants ball. Giants muscling in on the Saints colours in 2022, Phil. Just lightening up that blue a touch. Not dissimilar to the Saints home colour.
Yeah, it's a sharp-looking uniform. You know, all of the uniforms this year are very, very good.
We're underway here. Trey Morning doesn't shoot the three, instead finds Alex McNaught. Back to Sam Thompson, puts it up over Bodanovich. And that's Jordan Nartai, the 58-time Tall Black, who comes down with the rebound. Smith on West. Well, looks like Sam Dempster's been given the Danny Samuel assignment. And here is our first look at Xavier Cooks with ball in hand and points on the board for the Saints.
Yeah, nice easy pick and roll, and Xavier Cooks just finishing comfortably at the basket.
Morning hands it off to Thompson. Here's McNaught around the Morning screen. We'll look inside for his big. 4 on the shot clock. Elevates and scores over Nartai. Well, it's Morning and Cooks who have got us underway here. Jared West looking to make Mike Smith's life tough, as he has done with so many guards so far in 2022. Samuel turns the corner. And that elusive speed of his.
Yeah, he's got a real change of pace for a big guy, and he just caught Sam Dempster unaware there.
Morning. His three is up and it's down. Trey Morning. And that's promising signs for the Nelson Giants, Phil.
It is, yeah. It's what we've come to like about Trey Morning, is his ability to shoot the ball.
Cooks going to work down low, up with the left hand this time. Gets his own rebound. Morning comes down with the important one. So the two big men just getting a feel for each other to start this game out. Again, Morning has that mismatch on Ngatai. Turnaround jumper this time. Well, Trey Morning comes to play tonight. Friday night in Nelson.
Watching him during the warm-ups, and he definitely had a very serious look on his face as he was going through the warm-up routine. So he's definitely locked in early.
Mike Smith, beautiful hesitation move on the baseline, and he gets 2 points as a reward. There's Morning again. What's he going to do this time? He hands it off to Jared West. Not afraid of a deep three to look to get himself going as West. That one off the mark. Rebound by Ngatai. Smith averaging 20 points a game. Looking to drop it into Cooks. It eventually gets there. There's a whistle. Foul called on Sam Thompson as we see the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay.
Just hands in there. Well, Mike Smith's a pretty tough cover for Sam Dempster out there. You know, little point guard who's pretty quick, and just see him managing to get his 2 feet in the paint makes it difficult to defend.
Averaging 22 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists is Xavier Cooks since coming to the NZNBL. 3rd time trying to join our league. He had signed over the last 2 seasons as well. Signed with the Canterbury Rams in 2020 before, of course, that season became locals only during the pandemic. And then he signed with the Wellington Saints last year, but COVID prevented him getting here in time, Phil. A pain you know all about. Sam Dempster knocks down a 3. Couldn't get here in time to play enough games to be eligible for the finals. Here he is in 2022.
Pretty tough rule, that one, but understandable why it's in place.
Rebounded by Morning. For those uninitiated, Phil Jones missed out on the championship with the Giants.
I did.
Didn't need you in the end.
No, they didn't. But I was there sitting on the sideline watching. It was pretty cool to watch.
Dempster aggressively going at Ngatai, and he'll earn a trip to the Rosine foul line.
Sam just patiently putting the ball on the floor, getting to hit, and just see a little bump there by Ngatai. Ngatai probably just needed to get that right hand out of the way, and may have been good defense.
Dempster misses his first from the line. That championship 2007, was it?
It was 2007.
Was that where Mike Fitchett scored 35 in the semi-final?
It was.
Against Waikato?
Mm-hmm.
And here he is, 15 years later, holding a clipboard for his hometown team. Dempster splits his free throws, 11-7, the Giants lead. Mike Smith puts on the turbos, dropped it off to Samuel. His touch wasn't delicate enough, but the Saints will go again. Cooks, the Australian boomer, goes right at Dempster. His touch is delicate enough.
Showing his ability for a big guy to put the ball on the floor and attack the rim. It's pretty tough to defend.
Dempster. 10 on the shot clock. Here's Thompson looking inside to Morning. Bigger defender on him this time. So the running hook goes down. Trey Morning.
Beautiful rolling hook.
9 points in the first 4.5 minutes for Morning. Smith burrows into the lane. Pulls up from mid-range. Oh, Tomodanovic goes and gets that rebound. Smith fast, agile, and on his way to the foul line.
And not many driving past Jared West like that, and Smith has got some serious pace to him. You just see here, he just puts his head down and gets into the lane.
A real favourite with the NZNBL social media team is Mike Smith, Phil. Very good friends with Jimmy Butler.
All right.
And Jimmy Butler shared some Mike Smith highlights the other day, immediately elevating it to the most viewed post in NZNBL history, into double digits of millions of views. He makes both his free throws with a smile on his face to Smith.
You never know, you might see Jimmy Butler playing in the league. Imagine that.
Kind of a Hawke's Bay Hawks kind of vibe, or Southland Sharks kind of vibe. Here's Thompson. Morning. Rips goes baseline. Nata does well to shut off that particular pass. Dempsey has to put up a tough three ball. Gets rim, but Tuffin comes down with the board. Vodanovic, catch and shoot from the wing. That goes down. Vodanovic for three.
Mike Smith's creating a lot of problems for the Giants at the moment, just his penetration and his ability to pass and score.
West inside, Morning in good position, and his left-hand hook goes. Cooks leaves it short. And here come the Giants. McNaught running the floor. West with the ball. Just leaves Nata in his dust, but he leaves it short too.
Did everything but put it in the basket, Jared West.
Screen from Vodanovic. Smith uses his body well, can't get it to go. Dempster with the board. West goes round Tuffin. Basket counts, and to the line goes Jared West for an M1 opportunity.
We just see Jared West using his own pace, getting past Tuffin there and taking a bit of contact and finishing at the rim. Made sure of that one, missed the previous one, but made sure that one went down.
Will take his free throw after the media timeout. These two teams, Jordan Narthai asking a few questions about the basket should have counted or should it have been on the floor. As Guy Malloy talks it over with his team.
It's good to see Trey Morning coming out and being slightly more aggressive. Had a reasonable start to the last game and then sort of fell away as the ball sort of locked in on him, but he's shown his ability to score in a number of different ways, with shooting threes, mid-range jumpers, fadeaways, and rolling to the hoop, and even a classic old hook shot running through the lane. So he's had a good start to this game.
Good to see the GIN listening intently to Mike Fitch's timeout.
Always something to learn from a Mike Fitcher timeout.
Tom Ingham involved as ever. We'll watch this season from the sideline. Sure, a pretty bad knee injury. Recovering well though. As the Saints keep the same line out on the floor.
So the Giants making a couple of changes, bringing in Nick Trathon and Riley Benjamin.
Jared West at the line to shoot one.
Knocks it down.
Converts a three-point play. 4-point lead for the Giants. Just under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter here Friday night, and we're about to see our first look at Walker Miller as he gets ready to come on for the Wellington Saints. New import. Cleared today to play as Nick Trathon has a wide open three. Vodanovic goes up high to get that rebound. Smith with the quarterback pass. Oh, Dempsey read the option well. There's Morning with his languid style, finds West. Oh, the pass was perfect. Just past the outstretched hand of Morning.
Yeah, I think Smith may have got away with a little hip check there on Morning just as he rolled to the hoop, just slowed him down.
And Vodanovic makes the three from exactly the same spot as the last time. Remember back to the 2020 showdown. Tom Vidanic had multiple games where he made 10 3-pointers. Jared West puts up one of his own, leaves it a little short. Narsai does well, comes down with the board. Tuffin goes to work on Riley Benjamin. Great play from Kenneth Tuffin.
Pretty good defense from Benjamin too, just offense was slightly better.
Improves every year we see him, Kenneth Tuffin. One of a couple of Porirua lads in this team as Dempster's wide open. Great five from Jared West, and Sam Dempster knocks it down.
Yeah, really nice set from the Giants, running through a diamond set turnout and then finding the wide open player.
Cooks bumps off Morning. He gets the easy finish.
Hey, who you want me to guard?
Trading baskets at the moment, both teams.
Trathan aggressively down the lane. Cooks with the defense from behind. As Smith fires it over to Vidanovic on the other wing this time. Oh, that one too strong. We know which wing he prefers.
Yeah.
A hot potato from the two Giants imports. Trathan down the lane, bumped by Vidanovic and fouled. So to the line he'll go, and into the game. Come a few subs. Sam Thompson in for Sam Dempster. Darnay Samuel in for Jordan Natai, and Walker Miller wearing number 21 for the Saints on debut. 6'10". 3 years at University of North Carolina, where a certain Michael Jordan played his basketball.
Yeah, not a bad university.
Transferred to Monmouth for his final year.
And he hasn't been in the country very long, I understand. He's only been
just a few days.
Yeah.
It's a recommendation from a former coach of yours, I believe, Phil. Aaron Fern.
Coach Aaron Fern, yeah. Coached me in the Cairns Taipans in the Australian NBL.
Close friends with Guy Malloy, of course.
Yep.
Is Fernie. Watches a fair few Sal's NBL games, so hello, coach, if you are watching. Here's Smith. Turns down the three, into the lane. High floater, rebounded by Benjamin. Well, these teams neck and neck through this first quarter. Riley Benjamin with the aggressive drive at Smith. The finish just a little strong. Vidanovic is a mismatch down low. I'm not sure he realised it. So he finds Mike Smith, who sinks a three over Sam Thompson.
Yeah. I think he did realise it. He saw Morning going to double team there, and just nice little pass to Smith.
Morning puts up another three and makes another one. Trey Morning has 14 in this first quarter.
Just saying to Walker Miller as he walks down the court after that shot, welcome to the NBL.
Foul call on Benjamin. Well, Walker Miller has been thrown into the life of a travelling basketballer, Phil. He was training in Canada with one suitcase and then got the call up to New Zealand. I believe he is preparing after the Sal's NBL season to head over to Europe, and he's still just got the one suitcase, so living out of that for a few months as the young man.
Looking at the size of his feet, he probably wouldn't have much room for clothes in that suitcase.
Once there's a couple of pairs of shoes in there. Here he is setting a screen for Smith. West trying to stay with him. Morning switches on to the guard. Deep three from Smith. And that'll do us for the first quarter of action. I should apologise, that was a shot clock that went off, not the buzzer. As confusion reigns here.
It was still about 3.3 seconds on the clock when the shot clock went off.
Well, it confused me as well. So Matt Bathurst is at the score bench now, the crew chief, and just working out how much time to put on the clock. In control of the situation. And now I'll get feedback from the coaches. So it looks like 3 seconds has been put on the clock, Phil. And it will be Giants ball. There's Walker Miller.
So 3 seconds on the clock. Giants put in position. Sideline. Sam Thompson will put it in. Chance to do something here.
So it's going to be Jared West. Yeah, 3 seconds. He's 3 boys up. And down it goes. Jared West beats the buzzer to finish the first quarter. The Giants lead 29-24, and the Trafalgar Centre enjoyed that one. These two teams almost inseparable. Jared West's 3 gives them the lead, about as off balance as you could be. And down it goes, 29-24, second quarter coming up after the break.
Thanks to our friends at as we're going to give them 1 minute on the clock by that up there. Are you ready to go? They're going to make a basket, come back, get a slice of pizza. Here we go. Go! 1 minute on the clock. First one's down. Phoebe's put it up, looks good. And it's good for Phoebe. Louie's having another crack, just a little short. Phoebe's coming back for the first slice. Louie's got her first slice. Louie's up. Phoebe's is good. 2 for Phoebe. Come on, Louie, you can make this one stick. A little bit higher. Nearly. There it is. 3-2. Phoebe's got 3. Lillian's got 2. And you've got 15 seconds. And another one. Well done, Phoebe. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay! Another shot. Well done, ladies and gentlemen. Lily and Phoebe, give them a round of applause and a big thank you to our friends at Soul's Pizza for making it happen as well. Of course, the Soul Steel, we do it every home game. Thanks to our friends at Soul's, league sponsor for the NBL once again for 2022.
Welcome back to a sold-out Trafalgar Centre. Nothing but sellouts so far in 2022 from the Mike Perry Nelson Giants, and they've entertained the fans so far tonight. 29-24 after 1 quarter of action. Jared West putting an exclamation point on the end of the first quarter with a buzzer-beating 3.
I think the Saints will be talking about their defense, but the thing is, I don't think the defense was that bad. The Giants just shot the ball well, and they made a couple of tough shots, and obviously Trey Morning came out pretty hot, so would have been a little bit of chat from Guy Malloy in regards to trying to slow him down, and if you slow him down, you'll slow the Giants scoring down, I think.
14 points for Trey Morning in the first quarter, and here he is guarding Xavier Cooks. Big screen from Vidanovic. Rangi Maria Mita into the game. His first 3 is off, rebounded by Nick Trathan. Here's Morning, looking to drop it off the West, does so expertly. And that is a beautiful bit of 2-man basketball from the Nelson Giants.
Yeah, great look by Trey Morning. Just a late pass setting up Jared West here.
Cooks responds at the other end.
Too big.
Big, athletic, skillful. Thompson. Back to West. Sam Thompson's 3 over. Danny Samuel is good.
The Giants shooting at a good clip at the moment.
Here we go. Defense.
Cook's doing a bit of everything for the Saints.
Defense.
Oh. Intiman and Trathan thought they combined nicely for a steal. Trathan caught for a foul.
Trathan has done all the work to get around. I thought originally he'd fouled him and then he let go. And then the pass came and he stole it. You see here, he's just holding. He lets go and then gets, it's like, whoa. Probably should have called it earlier.
The result the same as Danny Samuel receives the ball from the inbound. Oh, Cooks just leaves it behind, a little bit of soccer skill. Oh, Sam Thompson putting on a show. Won't count, but I'm glad he did it.
I've heard that Sam Thompson's quite bouncy at practice.
Well, we just saw it.
You don't see it often in the game from him. Had a bit of a highlight last week against the Bulls. Nice two-hand dunk. But
It certainly did. Kick ball to call there, by the way. Here is Thompson. Back to West. Trathan, the contested three. Vujanovic grabs the board. Cooks draws a foul on Trathan. 2 quick fouls for Nick Trathan. That basket won't count.
Nick Trathan just hands on there as Xavier Cooks put his head down to drive. I definitely think the Giants have got a real intent offensively to get through their sets and are really looking to make sure they're sticking to the offensive structure and then getting shots out of that. And it's working well for them at the moment.
Cooks goes to work. Down the lane! Oh, just couldn't get the dunk to go. Vujanovic, though, will make sure the Saints go again. Samuel's three doesn't go, but he's fouled. Oh, Alex McNaught taking one in the treasure
Xavier
chest.
Cooks just turning on the jets, and he's probably a little bit too high above the rim and missed it. See Alex McNaught just catches one in the crown jewels.
Samuel makes the first of 3. Fresh off a season with the Brisbane Bullets and the Australian NBL. It's Darnay. Back with his hometown Saints. And he makes all 3 from the line.
It's good to see those guys coming back and obviously playing in the Cells NBL. You know, this league is growing from strength to strength, just as much as the Australian NBL is.
Benjamin Marnie Meter with some great defense, comes away with the ball. Slows things up and waits for reinforcements. Cooks hands it off. Vujanovic kills into a 3 that doesn't go. Rebounded by Morning.
It looked pretty good out of the hand from Vujanovic there.
Here's McNaught probing. Oh, great hand from Samuel to prevent that bounce pass finding Trey Morning. And here's Cooks. And he'll go the line to shoot 2. And Xavier Cooks is not afraid to drive at anyone.
No, he's definitely got some real intent when he catches the ball. He's looking to put it on the floor and get to the basket. And you know, for a big guy, he's got some nice silky ball handling skills, and he's tough when he puts his head down.
Let's hear those feet if you're in the stands.
He leaves the first one short. Giants shooting 57% from the field, Phil. The Saints 43.
And both teams not shooting too bad. Obviously, the Giants had a pretty hot start with Trey Morning.
Trey Morning 6 for 6.
You can't get much hotter than that.
And Sam Thompson pulling up from mid-range. Just doesn't go. Rebounded by Cooks. Vujanovic down low. Smart finish from Vujanovic.
Just strong down low on the block, Vujanovic.
Dempster elevates for 3 off the back iron. McNaught hustles for the rebound. Morning. Blocked by Cooks. 3-on-1 now for the Wellington Saints. Samuel Thompson with some good defense. Benjamin with a good box out, and Dempster with the rebound.
Benjamin doing a great job on Xavier Cooks here, keeping him off the rebounds.
Thompson gets Cooks to bite and commit a foul. First foul on Cooks, as we have a timeout by the Nelson Giants, who lead by 2.
Xavier Cooks just looking a little bit gassed. He's been pretty active in this game, both offensively and defensively. He'll be enjoying a slight rest on the bench at the moment, I'd imagine.
Anyone want one? Anyone maybe up here?
34-32, and we've seen an influx of new players to the league, Phil, over the last week, and more to come, I can report. Wellington Saints, obviously, with Walker Miller tonight. The Canterbury Rams announcing 2 new imports that'll play tomorrow when we're in town, when they take on the Manawatu Jets down in Christchurch.
Nuggets had a new import play last night.
Did they what? Trey Boyd.
Yeah. And he actually played for a team that I played for over in Finland, Kovok. And did quite well, I understand, over there in the Finnish National League.
As well as you?
As well as me.
Did he? Did he do as well as you? You won a championship there, didn't you?
Yeah, we won a championship my first year.
Cold place to play basketball.
Slightly cold. Slightly, yeah. Minus 32 degrees below was the coldest it got to when I was there.
Well, normally the Americans who roll into the Nuggets, it takes a while to acclimatise to the cold. I think Trey Boyd will be all right.
Yeah, although he's gone to a place where, you know, in Finland, everything was warm inside. Radiant heaters.
Okay.
It's not quite the same in Dunedin.
Those practice courts at the Eco Centre. We're back underway here, and Sam Thompson will inbound to Jared West. These teams neck and neck so far. Thompson finding a spot in the mid-range. Good contest from Cooks, and a rebound from Natai, his 5th.
It'll be interesting to see how the Giants go now with Trey Morning not on the floor.
Zdanovic. 3 doesn't go. Big rebound from Samuel. Good defense from the Giants. So Natai goes and gets rebound number 6. Here's Mani Mita. Natai for 3. That goes.
Yeah, I think
crashing the offensive boards, the Saints.
Yeah, Natai's a real weapon for the Saints because he's playing a role for them at the moment, where previously he was one of their main guys, and I think he's doing a great job at just doing the little things to help this team win.
West's 3 goes down. Nice find from Alex McNaught. And again, it's tit-for-tat basketball. That pass, Samuel did well to go and get it, but just knocked out of his hands by McNaught. Dempster almost with the steal, and there will be Saints ball. And the rest wasn't too long for Trey Morning, who checks back into the game.
It was quick rest. And Sam Dempster, he almost stopped rotating on that pass because I didn't think he was going to get it. And if he kept going at full speed, he probably would have come up with it.
Cooks into a Giants wall, but Zdanovic sinks the open 3. Tom Zdanovic has 11. West looking for Morning, finds him eventually. Samuel with the foul, so Trey Morning will head to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, good patience by the Giants. Getting the ball through hands, and Trey Morning diving to the basket. Making himself a big target down there at the moment, Trey Morning. Just catching Dane Samuel, just catching him on the arm.
And Trey Morning from the free-throw line.
Averaging 21.7 points a game, and just a tick under 10 rebounds this morning.
He's had a couple of quiet games recently. It was probably brought that scoring total down a bit, but he can definitely score. He's shown us that.
Well, Dempster gets the offensive board for the Giants. Thompson down the lane. He's fouled by Zdanovic. Second foul on Tom Zdanovic, so Sam Thompson will head to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, nice offensive rebound there by Sam Dempster, and just giving the Giants another second opportunity on offense.
And eagle-eyed, we'll see Finn Delaney in the back of your screen there.
Mike Smith coming on.
Nelson local, now former Breaker. Won't be returning next season for the Breakers after a long stint.
Has he signed anywhere else?
Not that I know. I'm interested to see where Finn ends up. He's been just to the right of your logo on the top left of the screen. You'll see Finn in a brown jumper.
I'd imagine that he would be reasonably high on teams' shopping lists, I would say.
I wonder if he wants to explore the reaches of Europe or stay in Australia. We see Corey Webster recently in the last few days signed with the Perth Wildcats, having tormented them for a fair few years there. Misses his second to Thompson. Samuel with the rebound.
The Giants showing a little bit of a chink in their armour for their scoring. They've done everything pretty good up until the last 3 free throws.
Tuffin, great defense from Morning. Vujanovic didn't know that it missed. Tuffin called in the block. Morning said he didn't touch it.
Yeah, I actually think Tuffin was trying to pass the ball, and Vujanovic just turned his head and didn't see it coming.
The referees talk about it. They'll just see what each other saw. As is the official process. No one saw a touch, so Nelson Giants ball.
You would almost say that Morning did touch the ball the way the ball sort of came out of Tuffin's hand, but I think he was shooting it and then decided to pass it last second.
Either way, Giants possession. Here is Trey Morning to Jared West. Throws it up for Morning. Just couldn't complete the alley-oop. Smith inside to Vujanovic, loses the ball. Out of bounds it goes, so a couple of turnovers from the Saints and back-to-back drives.
I thought the Giants might think about putting Morning and Vujanovic into a bit of an isolation situation, especially with Vujanovic on 2 fouls.
Thompson. Up with the floater, doesn't go. Vujanovic with the rebound to Mita. Quick correction now. Vujanovic, that last foul called on Jordan Natai actually, Phil. So Natai on 3 headed to the bench. Vujanovic on 1.
Oh, that will be why.
Here is Vujanovic. Speaking of threes, 3 points for the Tall Black.
The Giants might need to wake up to that. No, Vujanovic has done nothing but shoot threes since he's come into the game.
14 points. Here's Dempster, shoots a 3. Foul off the ball though. That one on Mani Mita. Sam Dempster takes the seat and Tyler Marsh comes into the game. And Xavier Cooks will re-enter for the Saints. Mita takes a seat, and Tyler Marsh will inbound the ball for the Giants. West wants it, and West gets it. Round the Morning screen. A one-handed push shot from just inside the elbow, and that goes down.
Good patience by West, just getting to that little elbow spot, little floater.
Defense, coming outside, defense, Hugo.
Samuel looking for Vujanovic. He does well to go and get it. But he might have stepped on the out-of-bounds line. He did. A couple of frustrating possessions for Tom Vujanovic.
I think it was actually Alex McNaught that was standing out of bounds and he had his hand on the ball. Vujanovic throws the ball at the referee in frustration.
Thinking that was a turnover. Yeah, you're right. McNaught had his hand on the ball. So Saints ball. Cooks trying to draw the foul and doing so expertly. So Xavier Cooks will go to the line to shoot 2.
I haven't seen Cooks look at shooting the ball from range in this game. Really a lot of intent on putting the ball on the floor and trying to get to the basket. Maybe the Giants might need to think about just giving it a little bit of space to take away that penetration if possible.
and Xavier Cooks from the free throw line.
Ball just getting a quick dry.
Yeah. Everyone's getting slightly confused. People throwing towels and towels getting thrown back.
Let's make a whole lot of noise, Nelson.
Xavier Cooks makes the first. And makes the second.
So the Saints lead by 3 here. Just under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Sam Thompson. Alex McNaught turning the corner. He pulls up from the elbow. He gets it to go. His first points of this contest. Oh, Mike Smith hits the deck. It's toughened. Bogdanovic fires it out to Samuel. His 3 ball. Hits the back iron. Rebounded by Morning. 5th rebound for Trey Morning to go 15 points. Oh, Jared West with a beautiful move, and Morning just blocked by the rim. He manages to get the ball back. And Samuel does well the second time.
Morning just looking for a bit of contact and nothing there.
Bogdanovic rattles it in for 3. Tom Bogdanovic from the corner.
And the way he's going, he's heading for another one of those 10 three-point games.
Up to 17 points now. Oh, Tyler Mush pass read by Darnay Samuel. Goes one-on-one with Jared West. And showing every bit of his skill. Darnay Samuel, timeout, Nelson Giants. The Saints go on a run. They lead by 6, 48-42.
You see Darnay Samuel here just zigzagging his way down the court and finishing possibly a little bit of contact too he was asking for. The Giants have just given up a couple of easy buckets for the Saints in the last couple of possessions. Bogdanovic is just rolling from the three-point line at the moment. He's made 5 this half.
Nice work up in the stands.
5 for 9 is Tom Bogdanovic. We talked about Xavier Cook's reticence to shoot the 3, Phil. I can tell you he was averaging just 1.7 3-point attempts per game.
Right. So his preference, put the ball on the floor, get to the basket, and rebound.
24 and 24 last week, overshadowing 14.17 rebound performance from Tom Bogdanovic, which almost went unnoticed alongside a 24-24 outing.
There's obviously a lot of missed shots in that game. If 2 guys are getting, what, 41 rebounds between them. Just see the Saints pushing out to a 6-point lead with 1:44 to go in the game. In the first half.
Here we go.
Sam Dempster brings the ball up for the Giants. Look to try and regain their offensive flow, the Giants. Here's Thompson. Pulls up with 10 on the shot clock. Doesn't go. Rebounded by Bogdanovic.
Not a bad look for Thompson there, just not able to knock it down.
Samuel with the up fake and then finds Bogdanovic.
Wellington looking for the gap.
Smith, good hand from Morning, but all he did was tip it up to Xavier Cooks, who took full advantage.
That was outrageous. Oh my gosh.
Finishing off the alley-oop from the opposing team. And all of a sudden, there's a deathly silence here in the Trafalgar Centre. Can Jared West brings a few cheers back? He can. Much needed bucket for the Nelson Giants, Phil.
Yeah, big bucket. Definitely stopped the bleeding a little bit here.
Well, Cooks is confident, isn't he? And one now for Xavier Cooks. He lets our cameraman know about it, and he'll head to the Racine foul line.
Just saw this previous pass that turned into an alley-oop that turned into a dunk on Alec McNaughton's head. Trey Morning just tipping it, and athleticism of Xavier Cooks.
Young Alex McNaught heard all about it. So Cooks at the line. 9-point lead now for the Wellington Saints with 40 seconds to go in the first half. Jared West fires it over to Sam Thompson. He drives. High off the glass. Oh, big rebound. Kenneth Tuffin, who's hit the ground very hard.
And that was just a bit of unfortunate contact there from Trey Morning. They both clashed in the air, and Tuffin just, legs went out from under him. I'm pretty sure a body is not meant to bounce like that off the floor.
No. So they'll be very careful with Kenneth Tuffin as Guy Malloy makes his way onto the court.
You just probably see on the bottom of your screen, just it's a bit hard to tell from that angle, but it's a slight bump from Morning, and
Kenneth Tuffin not wanting to leave the court, but the referee quite rightly saying he needs to go and get checked out, having hit his head pretty hard there on the not soft floor here at the Trafalgar Centre.
I think once the coach steps on the floor and checks that on the player, they do have to leave the court. He looks pretty happy. He's smiling anyway and talking away. It's a nasty fall though.
Certainly was. And the foul was called on Trey Morning with contact in the air. So Jordan Nartai, fresh off the bench, will take the free throws from the Resine foul line.
Good for Jordan Nartai.
The bearded one makes them both. 11-point lead for the Saints.
Giants will over the last shot.
Outscored the Giants by 16 in this second quarter, Phil. As West just surveys his options, gets the speed mismatch he wants. Step back three from Jared West to the end. He'll have the last say of the quarter. Jared West finishes the second how he finished the first. Just slightly stopping the bleeding for the Giants. They trail 55-47. An impressive second quarter from the Wellington Saints, led by Xavier Cooks and his 17 points. And Tom Vodanovic and his 17 points, 6 rebounds. Trey Morning started hot. They slowed him down in the second quarter. He has 15 points. And he's with Phil Jones.
Trey, good start for you for the game and the Giants in the first quarter. Second quarter, Saints come out pretty tough defensively. What are you guys going to need to do second half to get back into it?
We got to, make plays on the defensive end first, and then the offense is going to open up.
Yeah. And your offense seems to be going pretty good. You feeling all right out there?
I feel fine. We got to get stops, and then on offense, we can come back in the game.
All right, good luck for the second half. Cheers. And Tommy. Hey Tom, you guys had probably a bit of a slower start for you guys initially, then second quarter you got going. What did you guys chat about at the break?
Yeah, I think they scored 29 points in the first quarter. That's too many if you want to win a game. So we just really focused on our defense. Our shots started to drop, so that's a bit easier, makes it easier. But yeah, I just think in the second quarter we just really team defense. We helped out. We were making people run on. It was good.
Yeah, hey, good luck for the second half.
Thank you, Phil. And as the halftime entertainment gets underway here at the Trafalgar Centre, these fans have been mightily entertained by both these teams. The Wellington Saints have the lead by 8, 55-47 at half-time. Stats to come after the break here on the home of sport, Sky Sport.
right. I don't know if it's just a talking. Hey, you need to be. Huh? Don't leave me hanging for tomorrow.
Oh, I'll be there. I'll listen for all day.
Lying face down with you.
Shows you the quality, like Xavier Cooks is just more fun. Yeah, he just comes down, drives, goes right up, bucket.
No, there hasn't been many positions when he's come down and he's had the ball in his hands where they haven't scored.
Yeah. Daniel gets the rebound.
I'm getting to the money. Everybody, think I'm getting too much money. Everybody, same old name on the block. Same old name on the clock.
Welcome back to the Trafalgar Centre Friday night hoops in round 8 of the NZNBL. The Wellington Saints against the Nelson Giants. It's an 8-point lead to the Saints at half-time. Hugh Bain here alongside Phil Jones. And Phil, another sellout at the Trafalgar Centre, treated to some pretty good offensive basketball from both these sides in the first half.
Yeah, I think both sides are shooting the ball pretty well, and a lot of exciting baskets and plays, and you saw that one from Xavier Cooks, a little alley-oop throw down by him, and you know, it's by looking at the stats here, West got 18 points, which I wouldn't have picked. West had 18 points. Trey Morning seemed to be the guy that we had to focus on, and you know, Xavier Cooks is scoring well. Natai 7 rebounds, done that quietly. So there's a lot of quiet achievers in this game at the moment, but it's a good game to watch. You know, it's a nice flow in the basketball. Balls popping through people's hands, and you know, we're seeing a lot of being treated to a lot of skill out there on the floor.
Certainly are, as Mike Fitchett and the Nelson Giants talk it over. And they'll be focusing, I'd imagine, Phil, on stopping Xavier Cooks and his drives, and also preventing Tom Vodanovic from hoovering up those offensive rebounds.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely going to be their main focus in the second half. And whether that's whether they can do that or not, the tricky part about that is the Saints have got other weapons, right? You know, if you shut those two down, then you got Dane Samuel, you got Mike Smith as well out there that can both shoot the ball very well, and you know, it's going to have to be a real team effort by the Giants to make sure that they can get themselves back into this game and give themselves a chance to win.
We'll see if they can after the break. 55-47, the Saints lead the Giants. Third quarter coming up after the break here on Sky Sport. 3 banners up there, Phil, and a pretty recognisable jersey. That of Nenad Vucinic.
It is,
no.
yes.
And of course yours.
Yeah. I imagine there'll be a couple more hanging up there in the near future, I would say.
Surely number 14 goes up there in the not too distant future. Mecca Bacona.
Yep, I would imagine he would be up there.
And who else are you picking?
Well, maybe.
Number 15.
Yeah, maybe. Sam Dempsey is slowly working his way to, I think, another number that needs to be hung in the rafters.
We should mention number 15, who we just mentioned, was worn by Mike Fitchett. Now wearing the 2 hats of the head coach and general manager. I can't see him green lighting his own jersey going up there. It's going to. But I agree that it should go up there once his tenure is done. So he talks it through with Sam Thompson. The link we didn't mention in the first half, Phil. Sam Thompson and Trey Morning and Mike Smith were all teammates at the Sioux Falls Skyforce in the G League.
Right. So they're going to know each other pretty well.
Know each other pretty well.
At 3/4 time, you never but know.
Yeah.
$1,500 cash could be hit.
It is good to see that caliber of import coming in to the Sal's NBL and playing and sharing their skills that they have on our floors. And obviously these guys are going to go back and talk to their friends who are all basketball players. Basketball players hang out with basketball players, and
agents talk.
Yeah, and we'll I have no doubt we'll have more players from that league coming this way as well.
The Giants have done a pretty good job on Mike Smith in the first half. He coming off a 30-point game, just 2 for 6, 7 points. At halftime in this one, the scoring being done by the front court duo of Cooks and Vodanovic.
And Mike Smith's done a pretty good job of sharing the basketball also, I think.
5 assists.
Yeah, 5 assists, which is, he's throwing it to Tommy V, that's 15 points.
Yeah.
At the moment. So yeah, he's a quality player, Mike Smith. I think when given the opportunity he can score, but he's running this team very well when he's on the floor.
To our community partners, Giants and Schools, ITM, McDonald's, Nelson's.
Tom Ingham just keeping in rhythm at the back of the timeout.
Yeah, a little catch up with him before the game, and says his knee's coming along. I think the hardest thing for him is just trying to make sure he's not stupid on it and not re-injuring it, because he's definitely one of those guys that loves to train. So he will be doing everything he can to make sure his knee is ready to go for the next season, I'm sure.
The teams make their way back out onto the court. 55-47. Advantage Wellington Saints, but plenty more basketball to be played. The Saints 3-5, the Giants 5-3. No guaranteed wins anywhere in the Sal's NBL in 2022.
No, she's a real competition, this one.
We're back underway in the third quarter. Alex McNaught, ball in hand for the Mike Perro Nelson Giants. Looking inside to Trey Morning. Oh, the Vodanovic met him at the rim. The Giants will go again. They might get 3 from it. They do. Sam Thompson.
I like the intent from the Giants straight away, trying to get the ball to Trey Morning in the post. Vodanovic just a little bit better defensively there.
McNaught fights in front of the screen. Here's Samuel. Hesitating, driving, using his strength to go through Jared West.
He's got that shifty change of pace, Dane Samuel.
Morning hands it off to Thompson. From mid-range this time, Sam Thompson. In and out it goes. Dane Samuel clutches onto the board. Well, Alex McNaught fighting above his weights here as Xavier Cooks backs him down. He does well. And it will be Saints ball.
They had 3 guys running at Xavier Cooks here, trying to defend him. You see him here backing down Alex McNaught, Sam Thompson, Sam Dempsey's giving it a cheeky little hand in there.
Here's Smith trying to find a bit of space. Cooks again turns down the 3, skips into the lane, well, almost volleyballs that in and eventually tips it in 2.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether he tipped that in or it just ended up rolling in. It was such a odd-looking shot.
He lost control
like he lost it
on the floater and just kind of batted it up there. West over to Dempster. Thompson looking active early in this third quarter. 4 on the shot clock. Turnaround jumper. Doesn't go. Morning does very well. And McNaught is bumped out of bounds, but it will be Saints ball. See the replay here. Morning surrounded by a couple of Saints.
Tommy
just shoulders Alex McNaught into the Wellington Saints bench.
Little hip check.
Nartai. Smith scampering along the baseline. Turnaround jumper. That's going to be a bank shot.
Crafty.
Down it goes.
Crafty little shot there.
Here's McNaught. Morning. Nartai on 3 fouls. Dempster shoots over Samuel off the back iron. Rebounded by Vajanovic.
The Saints doing a good job of just one and done here on offense for the Giants. You know, Giants putting out one shot and Saints not giving up any offensive rebounds.
Samuel finds Smith and then sets the screen for him. The American going at Alex McNaught, the 19-year-old. Good defense from the young Aucklander. Jared West regathers possession. Beautiful pass from Morning. And the role reversal. The centre finds the point guard.
Yeah, great pass there by Trey Morning. The Saints using Xavier Cooks a lot to bring the ball up. You know, it's tough.
Oh, Vajanovic will go the line for a 4-point play opportunity.
Dagger for the Giants. Hard work down the other end to get a bucket, and then Saints come down and get a 4-point opportunity, 4-point play opportunity. I was just mentioning earlier that the Saints are using Xavier Cooks a lot to bring the ball up. You know, it's he's a tough guard because he plays plays like a guard, even though he's in a big body.
So Vajanovic at the Racine foul line. A 4-point play, and perhaps more of a dagger for the Giants. That's the 4th foul on Trey Morning. Yeah, with over a quarter and a half to go.
That's a problem.
So Jared West will shoulder a little bit more of the offensive load and cops a foul. And we'll go to the line to shoot 2.
It'll be interesting to see what the Giants do here. Just play here, Jared West just putting his head down and just copping a little hip check from Dane Samuel. It'll be interesting to see what the Giants do defensively now with their matchups. Obviously a little bit undersized without Trey Morning on the floor. May see a lot more switching defense, or possibly even Giants drop back into a zone of some kind.
West makes them both. 65-54, 11-point lead for the Wellington Saints.
You see exactly that. See the Giants drop back into a 2-3 zone.
Nartai from the wing. Familiar left-handed jump shot doesn't go. Rebounded by Kutz, tipped out of bounds. Or not. Giants ball. Samuel agrees with me.
He does, yeah. Yeah.
There's a laugh with the Giants bench as he runs up the court. Give and go from Dempster to West. Thompson. McNaught finds Dempster in the corner, leaves it short. Second chance opportunity for the Giants. Nick Trathan from in front of the Saints bench gets it to go.
A big shot from Nick Trathan. He'll feel good about seeing one of those go down.
Nartai skips into the lane, dishes out to Mike Smith, and just like that, the Saints fire back with 3 of their own.
Yeah, the zone's pretty tough when you got a bunch of shooters out on the floor for the other team, and you've just got to really hustle and rotate and close out hard and try and take those three-point shots away.
Thompson spinning into the lane. Tough shot, Sam Thompson. Cooks just takes that rebound away from Nick Trathan and then draws a foul from him. Third one on Trathan.
Nick Trathan just asking the question, why? Why me?
A smile from Xavier Cooks too. Perhaps a knowing one. Here's Cooks on the other end. Spinning, off balance, tough shot, rebounded by Dempster. West stopping on a dime. That's a tough shot. The basket won't count. Jared West will go to the line to shoot two.
Furious at himself for not making that shot. He possibly thought it was a lot easier than it looked, and I think it was pretty tough shot.
Timeout here before the free throws.
Now, I imagine we're going to see a bit more of that from Jared West in the second half, just being more aggressive offensively. Something the Giants are definitely going to need with Trey Morning off the floor.
Both teams now shooting 50% from three-point land, Phil. Giants 10 for 20. The Saints 9 for 18. 63% from the free throw line, the Nelson Giants. Real bugbear of yours.
Yeah, it's not a stat I like to see. It's always a tough one, particularly when you have teams that are pretty good shooting teams and they can't convert from the free throw line. You have moments in games where you struggle to score points and put points onto the board, and one way to keep that scoreboard ticking over is to make your free throws. You make those, things will stay closer in games.
Saints out rebounding the Giants by 10, 30 to 20, and have more steals than them, 4 to 2, which is something we haven't seen all season. The Nelson Giants have outstolen their opponents in every game.
Yeah, and I think, I mentioned before, the Saints are using Xavier Cooks and their bigs. They've got other bigs that can bring the ball up, Vodanovic and Dane Samuel, and that kind of takes Jared West out of the play a little bit in regards to guarding the ball and he's pretty good at, getting tips on the ball and steals, and having him and having Alex Minord off the ball takes those opportunities away for the Giants.
West makes his first. Second is too strong. Samuel comes down with the ball, and here comes Mike Smith. Almost loses the handle. Misses the shot.
I think the Giants were pretty lucky there, got away with one.
Nort loses the handle. Vodanovic going the other way. The scoop doesn't go. He'll go to the line to shoot two.
It's end-to-end stuff at the moment. See Mike Smith going from one end of the floor to the other, and then Tom Vodanovic doing exactly the same thing. Just see him getting here, and Sam Dempster. Not a lot of contact there. Sam Dempster may have been a little bit unlucky.
Hard when you're running backwards that fast.
It is, yeah.
And Tom Vodanovic has 22 points to go with his 7 rebounds.
This one's in for Vodanovic.
I know this is one of the players that Coach Fitchett was quite keen on at the beginning of the NZNBL.
Opted to return home. And his partner Jade and their little one. Oh, Xavier Cooks says no thank you to Nick Trathan. And that pass is wayward, so Jared West goes and gets it. And the Saints let the Giants out of jail. Sam Thompson down the lane, right at Cooks, takes the contact and finishes.
Great use of the body there, Sam Thompson, just protecting the basketball, and Xavier Cooks was going for his second block in as many possessions, not quite.
Tough three from Vodanovic, all but in. Dane Samuel puts it back in and is fouled.
Almost comically puts that back in.
Still smiling about it is Dane. Often plays with a smile on his face. Foul attributed to Alex McNaught.
You see the replay here on the rebound. He just grabs it, and Alex McNaught, I'm not 100% sure where the contact was.
So Samuel at the line. Walker Miller ready to check back in for the Saints. Converts a three-point play, does Dane.
Nick Trayton high-fives Walker Miller as he runs past.
Trying to get into his head, you think?
Nick's just a nice guy, you know.
12-point lead for the Saints. Trey Morning on the bench for the Giants with 4 fouls. Thompson draws a foul. And they'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Helps the Moppets out, gives the floor a bit of a wipe. Possibly on, is that on Natai, or who was that foul on the last? Walker Miller?
We'll have to wait for the stats to update. It was take a pick, really, wasn't it? Number of Saints there. Sam Thompson went right through the middle of them, and here he is at the Racine foul line. Giving a shooter's bounce, all 3.
The Giants just can't quite get themselves inside that 10-point margin.
Using a couple of friendly bounces for Sam Thompson, and the lead is now 10.
A lot of people say that's what it's up there for, get a friendly roll.
Quick hands from the Wellington Saints, and there's Walker Miller with his first basket in the Sales NBL. Trayton's 3 is off, rebounded by Natai. Number 8 for Jordan Natai.
The shot looked pretty good out of Nick's hands, just didn't drop.
That Saints foul was called on Walker Miller, for those wondering, as Vodanovic's 3. And he's fouled by Nick Trayton. So Vodanovic will go back to the line for 3 free throws. And Nick Trayton will cop foul number 4.
And I was watching that play, and I think what the referee's got Nick for there was just turning his body as Vodanovic came down. But there wasn't a lot in it, to be fair. Vodanovic was leaning when he shot it.
This is the first, does Vodanovic. Looking to add to his 22 points.
Maybe there wasn't a foul.
You are invoking the ball don't lie theory.
Well, I'm sure someone said it, 100%. And he makes the last.
(75-62). Trayton turns the corner up with the left hand. Can't get it to go. Dempster with an impressive offensive board. Foul called there on Miller on the floor.
Miller Walker didn't last too long. Just a quick stint, then back on the bench. I see Tuffin come back into the game. Obviously feeling okay after the tumble he took in the first half.
Weston Smith down the baseline. Dempster right out in front for 3. The Trafalgar centre like that.
Beautiful find by Jared West. He's penetrating baseline and Dempster popping out.
Nartai sizes up Tratham. Deputises to Tuffin. Down the lane. Benjamin blocks it.
Riley Benjamin says, not in my house.
Jared West with the crossover, uses his body, finishes and one. The Trafalgar centre is on its feet. Here come the Nelson Giants. Jared West will go to the Resine foul line.
Two great plays. West just using that body again, and he is pumped after making that play. Dane Samuel subbing in for Tommy Vodanovic.
West converts the three-point play. Still a 7-point lead, despite that little potential swing in momentum that the Saints will look to arrest immediately. Smith finds Tuffin. Quick first step from Kenneth Tuffin. And a beautiful finish as well.
And he's on the ground again, Tuffin. A little bit of contact.
West, transition three off the front iron. Tratham tips it, but only as far as Mike Smith. Smith finds his way down the lane, clatters into the front row. Giants looking to get it done early in the shot clock here. West fires it back. Tratham from in front. Nick Tratham in and out. Rebounded by Cooks.
That's a frustrating shot for Nick Tratham. The ball was halfway down and popped back out.
The Giants single-digit deficit with 1:15 to go in the third quarter. Cooks going at Dempster. Dempster does well. Thompson comes down with the ball, and that's a cheap foul from Cooks.
That'll be two
Just
shots.
a second.
2 shots for the Giants. It was a bit of a frustration foul there from Cooks.
Correct myself, actually, that's the third foul on Xavier Cooks. Just a swiping at Sam Thompson.
Thompson from the free throw. 2.
Sam Thompson misses the first. Be frustrating for the Giants not converting on these free throws on a regular basis. And he gets a roll on the second.
Giants just reminding the referee crew that there is a sub coming in, and that sub is Alex McNaught.
Sam Dempster just a bit of a limp as he comes off the court. I'm not sure whether he's a bit sore or that's just a strut that he has.
It's another double-double for the Nelson Giants captain.
Yep.
10 points, 10 rebounds with a quarter to go.
He's having a great year, Sam Dempster. Just a consistent performer for the Giants, game in and out this season.
Samuel go to work on the smaller Alex McNaught, who does very well. Maybe even a block in there. West comes down with the ball. Here's West. Benjamin, catch and shoot from the wing. Too strong. Smith with the board. Smith calls from the screen. Goes the other way. Stops on a dime. McNaught does well to stay in front of him. West is up against it there, but they come away with the Nelson Giants. Thompson will step down the lane. Down it goes. 6-point game. Benjamin and Cooks tied up. Let's have a whistle.
Oh, double foul we have, which for the Giants is actually going to work in their favour, because is that Cooks' fourth foul?
There's a fourth foul for Xavier Cooks as he ruefully looks to the rafters. Sees the number 13 jersey, Jones jersey. There's only 6 Wellington Saints out there. Xavier Cooks just checking if he's on 4. Yes is the answer, so he makes his way to the bench. So that big matchup of ours, Morning and Cooks, they both find themselves on 4 fouls as the third quarter winds down. Smith, good defense. Bojanovic though, oh, back-to-back blocks the finish. So the Giants finish the third quarter on a high, outscoring the Saints 24-22 and trimming the deficit to 6 points. It is still very much advantage Wellington, but the momentum going the way of the home team here. Fourth quarter to come after the break.
Is with the Saints, but we have to do it. I said you're doing it, he's got to do it. 1,500 cash. All I need you to do, Steve, is not get the shot. Okay? He says he's only done it 5 times in the last 50 years. Okay, here we go. He's got the chance. One shot. Do you want a whole lot of noise, or do you want? I don't know if the crowd are going to be supportive or not for this one, but we all do like to see someone win it. So. You know, we all love basketball at the end of the day, and that is why we are here. So Steve from the Saints, going to have one shot, $1,500 cash. If he makes it, the cash is his, thanks to our friends at Mike Hero. Scott has just told me that I'm paying half of it if he does get it though. Please, Miss Steve. One shot, here we go. Thank God for that. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Steve, good work, my friend. Well done. Nicely played, thank you so much.
That might be the worst one we've ever seen.
He said, don't worry, Claire, I'll just miss on purpose so you don't look bad. I appreciate that. So next week,
the Canterbury one was pretty bad.
That was a child then, wasn't it? Oh yeah, that was really bad.
$2,000 cash. I'm not going to say.
We've seen 2 mates as well, though, haven't we?
Mike Hero.
So
of course, Scott Davina.
We've seen the good and the bad.
And Frank and Kelly from Mike Hero Real Estate, giving us the chance to do this every week at every home game here at the Hangar.
Well, plenty more drama to come here in the fourth quarter at the Trafalgar Centre. Welcome back to the home of sport, Sky Sport, and the home of the Nelson Giants, Trafalgar Centre. The Giants there trail by 6 to the Wellington Saints, but they finished with a nice run in the third quarter. And perhaps the headline of this one as we enter the last period is Trey Morning and Xavier Cooks both have 4 fouls to their names.
Yeah, it makes the complexion of both teams look slightly different. Obviously, the Saints have a little bit more size than the Giants, but at the moment, the Giants are doing a good job of using their speed, and the Saints are struggling a little bit to contain that presently, and possibly bringing Kevin Tuffin back into the game will help bolster that defensive side of things and help contain that speed.
Smith, Nartai, Tuffin, Bojanovic and Samuel out there for the Wellington Saints. Here's Bojanovic looking inside. Samuel does well to grab that under duress from the net and finishes.
Yeah, nice hands by Samuel. A little bit
of nasty. He could have caught a finger in the net.
Yeah, a little bit of attention from Nick Trathan as well, and Riley Benson, and still managed to gather and finish.
West McNaught, Benson, Trathan and Thompson out there for the Giants. So Sam Dempster on the bench as well as the 4 fouled Trey Morning. West, deep 3. Oh, in and out for West. Rebounded by Jordan Nartai. Number 9 for him to go with 5 points.
West frustratingly slaps his thigh as the ball pops out of the hoop.
Here's Mike Smith. Six assists for Smith. Can't get those 3 points to add to his 12.
Thompson, great job boxing out there and coming out with a rebound.
Thought about stepping into a 3. Instead, he goes to the hoop, takes the contact. And eventually Smith comes down with the ball. Tuffin. Samuel, good position down low on McNaught. 3 Giants around him. And good help defense from the Nelson Giants. McNaught around the Trathon screen. Surveys his option. Finds Riley Benjamin. Here's McNaught. Down the lane, takes it. Contact from Nartai. Can't get the layup to go.
Everyone's starting to look a little bit tired out on the floor, I think.
Yeah.
Just the pace of the game is starting to get at everyone.
Basket won't count. Fouls on the floor from Riley Benjamin. As Dane Samuel employed one of his signature spin moves.
Not a bad foul by Riley Benjamin there, just to slow things down.
Coach Guy Malloy. A busy and varied year for Guy Malloy. Of course, finished a long tenure at the Melbourne Boomers with a WNBL championship in Australia. That ball's lobbed in from Smith to Samuel.
Call for 3 seconds, just standing in the paint for too long.
And Guy Malloy straight from a WNBL championship into the Wellington Saints. Most successful franchise in South NBL. And then he'll resume Tall Ferns duty as head coach of the Sky Sport Tall Ferns in September. Busy man.
He is a very busy man, indeed.
West back to Dempster, who's back into the game, and straight off the bench with a 3 ball that bounces in. He's fired up as the Giants captain bellows to the crowd.
And the Giants managed to get one to bounce in rather than bounce out.
5-point game. Trey Morney back out on the floor as well with 4 fouls. And here's a mismatch that Mike Smith might look to take advantage of. It's Sam Dempster. Bogdanovic catch and shoot over Thompson. Dempster has to go and get the rebound, but he slips onto the baseline as he went to get it. And I'll just check the Giants captain's okay.
And Duncan, our local...
Yeah. One man in the crowd saying there's no way that was out. I am 120% sure that almost the entirety of Sam Dempster's foot slipped over the line. Let's have a look. Almost in, I think he was out still. Maybe not the entirety of his foot, though. But Duncan, the fan there, with the Phil Jones jersey, got a high five from Nick Trathon for standing up for his team.
He did. And he made a half-court shot a few weeks ago and won $1,500.
There he is, set behind referee Hayden Pipe. Back underway with the actual basketball as Tom Bogdanovic drives aggressively down the lane, earns a foul, earns a trip to the line, bucket counts, Tom Bogdanovic.
Too big, too strong.
Big boy move from the Tall Black.
See here, ripping down, and Jared West just trying to get his body in front, but Tommy V just pumping the chest a little bit there as he walked back to the Rosine free throw line.
Very happy to be home is Tom Bogdanovic. Talking to him before the game, said he absolutely loved his time with the Sydney Kings, of course culminated with a championship. But having the baby away from home, no support systems, and obviously being away from home a lot on the road during the pandemic-affected season, he's happy to be home. Happy to re-sign with the Breakers as well. It'd be great to have him back in Aotearoa. That pass a little wayward, and I think it last came off Mike Smith or Xavier Cooks. Xavier Cooks puts his hand up.
Yeah, there's nothing like playing basketball in your hometown. You know, and also playing basketball. Tommy V spent a bit of time over in Sydney and was a role player and didn't get to play as much. But here, he's one of their main guys, right?
Morning, high arcing turnaround jumper straight into the hands of Jordan Nartai. We talk about hometown teams. These two, probably the 2 most hometown teams in the league this year. Bogdanovic, Wellingtonian, finishes. Tuffin out there in Porirua, as is Jordan Nartai, the Prince of Porirua. Dane Samuel, Wellingtonian as well. So the Saints are representing the region as an M1 comes. Trey Morning will go to the Rosine foul line.
So it's almost like we have a school of post-ups here at the moment. We have Tommy V posting out Trey Morning at one end, and then Trey Morning posting out Tommy V at the other.
Third foul on Vodanovic.
Giants just hanging in there at the moment.
Converts to three-point play. 6-point lead, full court pressure. The Saints break it well. Vodanovic, Nata in front of the Giants bench. Doesn't go. Gerald West comes back and gets the rebound. Thompson. And that goes over the backboard, which is always one of the more unsatisfactory plays in basketball.
It's always hard to know whether it's going to be called out of bounds or whether it's going to be in play.
Has to hit something, right?
Yeah.
So we have a timeout here, 83-77. Just a feeling in the air when the Giants get a stop, Phil, that reverberates around the Trafalgar Centre, but the Saints doing a great job just to keep them at arm's length.
Yeah, they have. They've done a very good job of just keeping that lead, and the Giants have had a few good looks and they're just not able to convert, particularly from the three-point line. We saw one bounce in from Sam Dempster earlier, but all the others seem to be sort of going halfway down and popping out, and it's it can be very frustrating because the pressure just keeps building and building and building, and then when you're shooting your next one, you sort of, it's got to go in, and it makes it even tougher to shoot it up there. 6 minutes to go, though. Plenty can happen in a 6-point ball game. That can change in the blink of an eye. We know that.
Well, we've seen it in recent weeks. We've seen the Manawatu Jets finish fast in a couple of their games. Not least the much talked about one against the Auckland Tuatara. Roblo's tip, finding the bottom of the net, but a foul called. And having reviewed the footage several times upon request, Phil, tip did look like it was after the buzzer.
Yeah. Well, Tuatara have had a bit of a tough run in the last few weeks, having started off so well in the season and winning some tough games away on the road and beating the Giants down here, and now they've lost three straight, they've lost Chris Johnson, of course. Farewell, their big man. Oh, Xavier Cooks just gets his pocket picked by Sam Thompson. Here's Trey Morning spinning up with the left. He lost that in the air. Nartype fights to keep it in. Morning bats it back to Dempster. Thompson walks into a three. Tickles the twine, Sam Thompson. And that had to go in after that defensive effort that he made, and all of the bobbling around of the basketball straight back to Sam Thompson. He knocks it down. 3-point ball game.
The Giants have clawed their way back into this one. 16 points for Sam Thompson. Is it another stop? Mike Smith as well to make sure that ball remains with the Wellington Saints. Sizes up his former teammate. Cooks down the lane. Two-handed flush.
Unfortunately, I saw that coming from where we were sitting.
We had a perfect angle, didn't we?
There was a huge gap down the lane.
It was like Moses parting the Red Sea. Morning. Tuffin and Thompson battling off the ball. Oh, Nick Tracy had to elevate to get that one. He drives. Oh, great find. Jared West from the wing. Doesn't go. Big rebound for Vodanovic. Oh, that foul may have been called on Trey Morning. And it was. And that is the end of Trey Morning's night with 4 minutes 47 to go.
Yeah, it's a tough one for Trey Morning, but I think there was a bit of almost like a rugby maul in the middle of the keyway there. And unfortunately, Trey Morning was the one that picked up the foul. A really nice find from Nick Tratham, though, on that pass. And Gerald West had a good look.
So Morning's night is done with 18 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists.
Just hampered a little bit by fouls after that strong start to the game, Trey Morning.
Alex McNaught re-enters the game. 5-point lead to the Saints. The Giants now have to play the last 4 minutes and 40 seconds without one of their star imports. Tom Vodanovic can't get the three to go. Jared West has 26 points. Can he make it 29? You bet he can. You bet he can. And he is pumped.
Giants just have a bit of momentum at the moment and starting to get their tails up. See Xavier Cooks
for the circus shot after being fouled by Sam Dempster.
Just a bit of contact. You just see him throw his head back and the old ponytail gave it away. Can you call that a ponytail? It's more like a man bun rather than a ponytail.
Yeah, I'd say so. Here is Cooks. Goes again at Dempster. And finish Dempster trying to sell the foul. The referee's not buying it. So the lead back out to 4 with 4 minutes to go. McNaught finds Trathan. Gets Cooks to bite. Down the lane, fires it back out to McNaught. The pass wasn't a good one though. Knocked out of bounds by Cooks.
Would have liked to see Nick just get at the rim there and try and put one down on somebody.
Mike Smith is playing close defense to Jared West, and now he gets the switch. Oh, Sam Thompson, a little juggle there, has to go with one on the shot clock. Back iron, Tuffin with a big board. Big possession for the Saints. Tuffin in the corner. Rebounded by Thompson. Dempster give and go with West and sets a screen for him. Trathan overcooked. Down it goes, Nick Trathan. We've seen some big buckets from Nick Trathan in 2022.
We have, and a lot of them have come late in games too, so he's not afraid of the big moment, Nick Trathan.
1 point game, West and Medanovic down in the keyway. West not looking too flash as he gets up. Cooks goes to work. Draws a foul. And Sam Thompson, number 3 for Sam. Under 3 minutes to go as we have a timeout by the Nelson Giants.
That foul was has put the Xavier Cooks to the Racine foul line. It's the Giants' 15th foul for the quarter, and didn't seem like there was a lot in this. There was a bit of a swipe at the ball, but probably not really in the context of the game that much contact.
Well, we get the luxury of a replay.
Yeah, we do.
But the referees don't. Certainly a couple of swipes from Sam Thompson, whether there was contact or not, who knows. A couple of important team talks here from the head coaches.
Just saw Jared West holding his ankle too.
He got up looking to flash after that collision, or whatever happened with Tom Medanovic under the hoop. Certainly won't want to take a seat on the bench. Trey Morning fouled out of this game. Xavier Cooks has 4 fouls. Nick Trathan has 4 fouls too. Just under 3 minutes to go in a 1 point game.
Mike Fitchett talks a lot about Jared West and his ability to lead the team and create intensity in practice, and he'll be one of those guys that he'll be looking to in this last few minutes of this game. Try and get the Giants across the line.
Smith, Nartai, Samuel Vodanovic, Cooks out there for the Saints. West, McNaught, Trathan, Thompson, Dempster for the Giants. And Xavier Cooks is at the foul line. And the Trafalgar Centre, let him know he missed that one.
And seeing Xavier Cooks play, potentially the one chink that he has in his armour is possibly from the Racine foul line.
Oh, wow. Tom Medanovic.
Oh no, they called an offensive foul.
Foul called on Medanovic, number 4 for Tommy B.
Big moment here in the game as he pushes off Dane Samuel. Slightly frustrated at the whole situation.
They quickly make up afterwards. 2 former Manawatu Jets. We're back underway. 87-86, under a 3 to go. Giants ball, they trail by 1. West, Dempster, this would be big. Dempster from beyond the arc, and the Giants have the lead.
Giants up by 2 all of a sudden.
Watson Cooks in the Saints manufacturer. Tratham chasing that ball down. Natai gets there first. Mismatch down low. Thompson goes to help. Tom Bogdanovic, too big, too strong.
Yeah, I think the Giants have got to get there earlier as soon as they see that mismatch. They can't allow Bogdanovic to get a bit of steam up to the hoop.
Giants had the lead briefly for the first time since midway through the second quarter. And Jared West to regain it for them. Jared West for 3. 32 points for the Giants point guard.
And all of a sudden the Giants have got hot from the 3-point line.
Under 2 to go. Cooks finds Samuel. He turns a corner. Lovely bit of misdirection from Darnay Samuel. Giants lead by 1. Xavier Cooks and Mike Fitchett having a little smile with each other out there. Thompson, step back 3. Front iron, rebounded by Samuel.
I'm not sure what the Giants were trying to do there on offense. They should have just kept going and running their stuff. They were getting good looks.
Xavier Cooks down the line, surrounded by Giants, gets his own rebound. Thompson comes away with it. The Giants bench, the Giants fans willing on their team. West for 3, looks strong, is strong. Dempster with the offensive rebound.
Sam Dempster, big
16
offensive
points,
rebound.
11 rebounds for Sam Dempster. Under a minute to go. Deep 3, Jared West, down it goes! Timeout Wellington Saints. The Trafalgar Centre is in danger of collapsing right now.
Jared West, deep 3. And then has a little celebratory dance afterwards, a little hip shake. The crowd is going nuts here right now.
Well, on a day where we saw a few shimmies from Steph Curry in the NBA final, Jared West has 35 points and some dance move of his own.
Yeah, he has really taken over in the second half. Obviously, with Trey Morning getting into foul trouble, someone had to step up, and Jared has just come out, and he is lighting this place up at the moment.
So Guy Malloy with some thinking to do.
So we've got to see a quick score here from the Saints, whether it be a 3 or just getting a 2 on the basket and on the rim, and then it's going to come down to, I think the Saints are going to have to provide a bit of pressure on defense, try and create a turnover. If not, they're going to possibly see themselves in a fouling situation if they don't get a quick basket.
They twice led by 13 points in the third quarter. They now trail by 4 with under a minute to go in the fourth.
I'd like to see the Giants get up and pressure this a little bit, possibly.
It's Xavier Cooks, ball in hand. Natai turns the corner. Up he goes! Jordan Natai throws it down.
Jordan Natai is a great athlete.
That was unbelievably reminiscent of a throwdown he did at 2020 at the Showdown. He took a little bit of wind out this Trafalgar Centre crowd, but it's still advantage Giants. They lead by 2. 7 on the shot clock, 20 on the game clock. West, this will be huge. It's off. Rebound Sam Dempster, but there's a whistle. Foul off the ball. And Tom Bogdanovic will go the length of the floor and have a chance to tie this game up from the Rosine foul line.
I think the referee had to call that one. There was definitely a bit of a push in the back, and if he hadn't of, it may have been game over. The Giants would have received a pretty good look at the basket.
Tom Bogdanovic is 3 for 7 from the line so far tonight. He gets the first to go. 1 point game.
And the Giants have to do, if Vodanovic misses this, they have to box out.
He does miss it. Rebound, who else? Sam Dempster. Under heavy duress from Jordan Nartai, but breaks it nicely to Thompson. Foul called. Jared West immediately calls the Giants in before realising it'll be a sideline. That is Tom Vodanovic's 5th foul.
And right now, the Saints still have to give another foul. So they've got to give 2 fouls to get the Giants on the foul line. So Giants smartly call a timeout here and will look to play, put an inbounds and get the ball into their, I would imagine, try to get the ball to Jared West. You know, and then they'll have to do it over again. There's basically 2 possessions required to get the Giants on the free throw line.
Jared West has 35 points, 10 assists and 5 rebounds. But all he'll want is the win.
Yeah, that's all Jared West will be worried about.
Tom Vodanovic's night is over 30 points. For Tom, 9 rebounds, 3 assists and 5 personal fouls. He joins Trey Morning on the bench for the remainder of this game. All 9.8 seconds of it. Unless, of course, Phil, we have free basketball.
Early flight tomorrow morning, Hugh.
We do have a 6:30 a.m. flight. I was enjoying myself until you brought that up.
So preference would be to see the game end in regulation, but
how good is the NZNBL in 2022?
Every game has been exciting, particularly in the last 3 or 4 rounds when teams have managed to get their full rosters together.
And this one is delivering. Smith down in the backcourt, fouled by Nartai, is Sam Dempster. Still fouls to give, 1 more. So next foul and the Giants will be shooting. Alex McNaught just breathes a sigh of relief that he got the ball in time. Xavier Cooks in his long wingspan.
It's always a nervous position to play when you've got the ball and you've got to make a decision and pass it to the person at the right time.
19 years old.
Yeah.
With Xavier Cooks, a bona fide Australian boomer, standing right in front of you. Finals MVP in the Australian NBL. Alex McNaught held his cool the first time. Let's see how he goes the second time. Eight seconds, 95-94, Nelson Giants ball. McNaught finds his captain, fouled again by Nartai. And this time Sam Dempster will go to the line to shoot 2 shots from the Razine foul line.
2 big free throws here for Sam Dempster.
One for 2 from the line so far. Sorry, Phil, 1 for 2 from the line so far is the one they call Sammy D.
The situation here is if Sam makes both, I'm sure the Saints will have a timeout, assuming they've got 1 left, and then they'll look to draw up a play. But ideally, they can't. The Giants are in the bonus. So if they foul, they send the Saints to the free throw line. They can only make 2 points. It all comes down to these 2 shots here.
Oh. It looks strong from here, but hey,
so nervous.
Colour me incorrect. Down it went.
That's the first part of it done.
Giants by 2. Giants by 3. The captain delivers. Timeout, Wellington Saints. Non-stop drama in the NZNBL in 2022. Under a week after losing on this floor to the Franklin Bulls. They lead the reigning champions by 3 points with 7 seconds to go. The ball is in the Wellington Saints court and on Guy Malloy's clipboard.
Got to say a big thank you once again to Paul and Rose Dance Academy who were here to take it to half time.
So
It's got to be Mike Smith, doesn't it?
The equation. What does Mike Fitchett do here in this situation? 7 seconds to go, up 3. Saints have the ball. They're going to run a play. They have to shoot a 3. Do we foul? Do they foul? Excuse me. Slip up there. Do they foul?
Slip of the tongue. 7.2 seconds left. He couldn't help himself. I don't think anyone at home minds Phil Jones.
It's a 3-point ball game.
3-point game, 7.2 seconds. It's Samuel to inbound. Mani Mita back out there. Mike Smith, by far the most bona fide 3-point shooter. They go to Cooks. Smith working hard, West working harder on the defensive end. So Cooks goes low. Can it toughen to tie the game on the buzzer? It doesn't go. Giants win. The Nelson Giants have beaten the Wellington Saints. What a game of basketball. The Trafalgar Centre is pumping. It will no doubt spill over into downtown Nelson tonight. 97-94. And unfortunately, we've used all our time, Phil Jones. We're not going to have time to talk to the players. So we're going to have to leave you. Oh, I've been told we've got 5 minutes extra, so we can talk a little bit more. Great stuff. We can have a look at the stats and see what games are to come, but let's just spend at least a minute of it, Phil, on that game. What an effort from these two teams. What a comeback from the Nelson Giants.
Yeah, look, the Giants just second half, exceptional half from Jared West, but also Sam Dempster chipped in. Sam Thompson played a big role. Their defense was solid. And I think the Giants just wore the Saints down in the end in that second half and managed to come up with a win. And, you know, that's the Giants that we like to see here and we love here in Nelson is they just come out and they just compete. And I think they lacked that a little bit against the Bulls last weekend. And this weekend they came out and they've really shown Nelson what they can do.
97-94, the Giants go to 6-3. The Saints fall to 3-6. Sammy Dempster. Well, if it wasn't for Jared West's 35 points and 10 assists, we'd be heralding Sam Dempster the player of this game. 18 points, 12 rebounds, some big-time shots, some big-time free throws.
Yeah, he was the linchpin, I think, today of the game for the Giants, and he just did all the little things that helped the Giants get the win. So well done, Sammy.
More to come. It's the best thing about this league. We're back at it tomorrow, 5:30. Myself and Phil in the cauldron that is Cal Stadium as the Manawatu Jets, who have the wind beneath their wings in the recent weeks, take on the Canterbury Rams. The Airs are then in the beautiful Hawke's Bay taking on the Hawks Saturday night, live on Prime, that one as well. And then on Sunday at 5 o'clock, the Sharks take on the Jets in the Deep South. What a season it's been so far in the NZNBL. Another spectacular game for you live on Sky Sport. We'll do it all again tomorrow, 5:30. See you there.